Hey, what's up, everyone? Today we're talking about the new Enve Melee bike. They just announced it today. It's been in the works for a while. My store actually had a chance to become a dealer for them, and we're still in the process of talking to them. But today's video is not about that. Today's video is talking about the hype behind this bike and what this bike brings to the table. I'm going to talk about some things I like about the bike, a lot of things I don't like about the bike. But we all know Enve is a great company. They do a lot of good things in terms of their wheels are amazing. Their handlebars, everything about the company is great. They're made here in America. It's amazing. But I want to touch point on some. I see a lot of YouTube videos popping up by other channels saying the S-Works killer, better than the Tarmac SL7, and everyone's like, oh, I can't wait for this bike. This is gonna be way better than Specialized. Yeah. Just so you guys know, I do work at a Specialized store. I'm not hired by Specialized. I just sell Specialized product. But I'm just gonna tell you guys my take on the Enve Melee bike, about price point, warranty, and stuff like that. And you guys let me know. But so anyways, let's get right into the video. So Enve released their bike today called the Enve Melee. It's a pretty much a in-stock bike of just basically an open mold of a frame that you can buy as a complete bike, and you can kind of customize it to the way you want. Enve did release a bike beforehand. Give me 1 second, I'll get you a date. About 1 year ago, March 26th, Enve released their Enve Custom Road Bike. From that point, I was like, wow, that's a really cool bike. I think they're going to do really well with it. They had all these customizations. You can either do an endurance bike, a race bike, you can do different colors, you can do different stem lengths, everything like that. And I thought this is a big step for Enve in the right direction. My personal thoughts are, then what happened to the bike is that it was pretty expensive for the point of it. I mean, you are getting a complete custom road bike, but it is expensive. Lead times I knew took a little bit longer, especially with the stress of the pandemic. And then I thought I would see at least a couple on the road, but at least in my area of where we sell road bikes at, which a lot of people go on the rides or a lot of people go on the roads, and there's a lot of people with money over there. I have yet to see one of those Enve bikes on the road. I don't know if it's just lack of being able to deliver or just lack of people buying the hype or buying that bike for that much money. So that was my first kind of thing when I saw this bike. Now, this might be a better bike because of the fact that there are going to be dealers with this bike in stock, and maybe once it's in front of a consumer's face, they might just be obligated to be like, oh, I like Enve. I might buy it this way. But I know with the custom bikes, I didn't see a lot of orders for them at all. I didn't even get asked about it, and I am an Enve dealer. So that's one thing. But the cool thing about the Enve is that you're going to be able to choose you can choose whatever wheel set you want with it. You can choose your handlebar width. You can choose your integrated aero stem length, your aero seat post setback. So basically, when you're buying a high-end bike as you are, you're able to customize it the way you want it to your fit. Whereas if you bought like a high-end bike from anywhere else, like Specialized, like Trek, it will come stock with whatever size it is. So the downside is that usually someone who's buying a $14,000 bike has been riding for a while. They know their fit, they know their stem length, they know the width of their handlebars, and they don't want to pay out of pocket for that. As of right now, I believe the price point is for the frame, the stem, the handlebars, and the seat post. I believe it's $5,400 USD, which is pretty on par with Specialized frames and Trek frames and stuff like that. The only thing Specialized is lacking is the handlebar, so they got one up there. But the cool thing is, like I said, you can choose, your wheels if you want to match your Enve bike. One thing I don't like about the bike, though, is that it has the ability to take a 35mm tire. This is supposed to be a race bike. I don't know where in everyone's mindset that they get hyped over seeing such a wide tire being able to fit on these bikes. I know the fad right now is like, hey, wider tires is comfortable, it's faster, everything like that. But in what 30? Like, I want to give you guys a scenario. The hybrids I sell in my store, the upright cruising hybrids, the Specialized Cross and stuff like that, they can run a 700 by 35C tire. Why on earth would you want a hybrid tire on a road bike like this? I mean, I'm fine for 28s, maybe 30s. I don't know why. 32s, it makes, whatever it is. Maybe you want to run a gravel wheel set on there. I don't know why. Maybe people are like, oh, it's versatile. I can run whatever I want. I don't believe these bikes should be one bike to rule them all, whatever it is, like the gravel. I know I did Specialized, but I'm saying. But 700 by 35 is crazy. And they also offer mud flaps and mud guards in there, like integrated for the mounting points. Again, I mean, who's buying this high-end competitive road racing bike and you want to deck it out with 700 by 35s and mud flaps. I do videos on S-Work tarmacs, and after it's 7 kilos, I get killed in the comment section. Be like, so much money for these bikes, and it's not even 6.8 kilos. And then they want to make this bike, and no one's gonna say anything. They're like praising, like, oh, it's amazing. Envy's doing a great job. Like, you can't play both sides. So that's my take on it. And you know, Envy, their wheels are expensive. They make great stuff. Don't get me wrong, they make great stuff, but their wheels are expensive. Their handlebars are expensive. They're to market standards. You know, this bike fully decked out is going to be $12,000, $13,000, $14,000. So that's my kind of mindset on that. I don't like you don't need a bike that can take a 700 by 35C tire. They do have ride tuned, which is to say, while 3 fork brakes can service a lot of people, bulk riders' needs, they added 2 extra fork brakes. So what this means is, if you ride an extra small bike like a size 49, or if you ride a 61, a double XL, the bike will be tuned specifically to that rider's size, so they should have all the same feel. Instead of just having all these different bike sizes with 1 fork brake, it'll make the bike feel weirder or different going into cornering and stuff like that. So all these frame sizes are tuned specifically for that, similar to how Specialized did with Rider First Engineering, where they make the bike the same geometry, the same rake. They outfit that size with the same rake, so it matches all the way through on the geometry, which is very nice. I mean, that's definitely thinking above and beyond for the consumer, and it makes them feel more confident going into corners and more better handling on the bike as well. They're giving, you can see right here, if you're buying the bike online, they'll help you figure out your stem fit or the best fit for that. But again, this bike is pretty expensive, so you could probably just go into an Envy retailer, or if you are buying the bike, you probably already know your fit schematics for the bike. And I would probably have to guess that it's going to be similar to like all these other bike sizes. I wouldn't guess that it's that far off. Can I take a second real quick to talk about this? Because everyone says it looks very similar to a tarmac. I mean, okay, it looks similar to every damn road bike on the road nowadays. You have the drop seat stays, the D-shaped seat posts, the arrow-shaped down tube, the integrated cables. It looks like a rear tarmac SL7. It looks like kind of like a front of like a Factor or a Scott. The front brake bolts remind me of a Scott, where they bolt onto the brake caliper there. It looks like they just took like a bits and pieces of each bike. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying by all means it looks like a beautiful bike, because every bike looks like this nowadays. But there's no more like ingenuity. Does that make sense? Okay, so yeah, again, we have the best bike fit. You have the integrated handlebar and stem, which you're getting a top-line Envy handlebar and top-line Envy stem, which is really nice products. I mean, you can run this stuff on any bike, and no one would ever go against it. The Envy stuff, the wheels, the stem, and the handlebars have proven time and time again they are great products. And I'm sure, no doubt, that the frames will be really good too. I mean, you can't knock it. Envy definitely has some nice carbon work there, and the people working on the bikes are very nice as well. They have the same breakaway spacers, so if you want to lower the stem, you can without having to cut the fork, which is nice. As of right now, it's only one color. It's just this gray, but they said that later on down the road, you might be able to get a decal kit for the frame. But hopefully, if Envy is going to start competing in these markets and they're charging a premium for these bike frames, people want colors. People want to be able to choose. You don't want to buy a $5,500 frame or a $12,000, $13,000 road bike, and you don't want to show up to a group ride and have your buddy ride the exact same bike. I mean, the reason we ride is to be different. The reason why we ride is to have some character to your bike. I mean, decal kits are sick and all, but we want to have some uniqueness to it. And this brings me to my next thing. They're going to have, when we were able to order these bikes a couple months back and put a pre-season order in for them, I believe we did, or I don't know if we did or didn't, but we had the option to order them in. The only thing that scares me with Envy is similar to like during the pandemic time. Now, every company during the pandemic time had issues, but I think they only have one location, which is in Utah. I'm worried about this bike. Let's just say this bike does take off, which would be great for them. But supplying the demand of all these orders going in for consumers and not having the resources of outsourcing work somewhere else, unless they hire more staff if it gets crazier. But then also, once you do that, everyone loves how well Envy is made. Once you start getting more and more orders and forced to get these out faster, that's where the lack of quality control comes into play. So Envy will have to do its best to be able to look over every single product, to make sure it's good, which I think they can. I mean, like I said, their quality control on products is great. I won't lie, I did have some warranty issues with Enve on some wheels, but again, their customer service is great, and they took care of that customer as well. So, but every company will have these slip-ups here or there. Everything can't be perfect, but just keep that in mind. That's what I'm worried about. It's just like supply and demand for these, because during the pandemic, I tried ordering some wheels, and it took forever. Okay. Real World Fast, they tested all this stuff. It looks, like I said, very similar to all the other bikes. I'm sure there's no doubt they make the wheels with aerodynamics. They make their handlebars for aerodynamics. They make everything about this. I'm sure they have the aerodynamics of these bikes as well dialed in. And then brings me to their warranty. I like the incidental warranty, which I'll talk about in a second. I don't like their factory limited warranty. Their factor limited warranty goes for this: coverage for the original owner against defects in material, workmanship for the period of 5 years from original purchase date. Product registration is required within 60 days. That's not a big deal. Secondhand owners are covered from the product's date of manufacture. So I'm fine with the product registration of the 60 days. That's fine, whatever it is. But 5 years for a really expensive bike like that, when you're competing against Specialized lifetime warranty, Trek lifetime warranty, I think Scott's 5 years as well. I mean, 5 years isn't a bad mark, but when you're charging a premium bike like that, you kind of want that backing of lifetime warranty. And the idea behind it is that usual 5 years is a lifespan of someone's bike. Usually, if someone's buying that price of a bike, they're usually going to have a different bike by the time. But I would like to see them slap a lifetime on there for the frame, for manufacturer, not for everything, for manufacturer difficulties, or maybe a 10-year. I don't know. But this is amazing. Enve incidental damage. This is the best thing. I wish more companies would do this. The program provides a no-charge replacement for your first 3 years of ownership, and a prorated replacement thereafter damage inflicted upon your frame when racing, riding, or transferring your bicycle. I mean, that is a pretty good deal right there. Literally, the first 3 years, if you get into a crash or something like that, they'll cover it for free, and then anything after that, they'll give you a prorated discount rate for that. But yeah, that's my take on the bike. I think it looks like every other bike out there. Enve has a special stamp. Enve has the backing from their community. They have a nice backing from support. People love them. People love that product to death. They are an insane. I like that they're an American company. Do I think it's a tarmac killer? Do I think it's a S-Works replacement? No. I think it's another great high-end bike for another choice for a consumer. I wish it would give it some originality. I wish it'd change up maybe some logos on here, maybe give it a different paint job, yada, yada, yada. I love the customizability about it. I love you can pick your stem length. I love you can pick your bars width, because I get that option asked a lot for S-Works. People want us as a shop to eat the cost to swap stuff out. I like that Enve works with the consumer for that. But again, the 35 millimeter tires on a race bike makes no sense. The mud flaps integrated for a race bike makes no sense. And like I said, I wish they maybe did something different with the look of it, just to slap some different on there. But that's my take on it. I can easily sit behind it here, computer, and criticize it, but I'm sure a lot of hard sweat, blood work, and tears went into this frame design. So kudos to Enve. Congratulations. Another bike on the market for consumers to choose about. And that's it. An open market for the consumers to go ahead about. We'll see how long it takes for this product to get out to consumers' hands. We'll see what the total build price is on these bikes. And we're excited to see. As of right now, I think they are only going for selling to retailers frames, not complete bikes. Just frames, wheels, handlebars, stems, stuff like that. I haven't heard of complete bikes yet, so I'll keep you guys in the loop. But anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this video. Thank you guys again so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.